This morning, we're shining a spotlight on the case of Carly Gregg. She's accused of allegedly murdering her mother and attempting to murder her stepfather when she was only 14 years old. This is her. Take a look at her. She's now 15, and she was seen in court on Tuesday waving to somebody from her seat in that courtroom in Mississippi where she's facing these horrific charges. Now, this hearing was all about determining whether Carly Gregg should remain in adult jail. At the hearing, the judge admonished her defense attorney for not having arranged her court-ordered mental health evaluation.
My patience is going to be a little thin, Mr. Coleman. The order says 10 business days from the date of the order. April the 18th was when the order was entered. So we've run out of 10 business days since the entry of the order, and this is obviously a most serious event. And while you certainly have a right to have a mental evaluation done, the state of Mississippi has a right to have the state hospital perform one as well. And I'm not going to allow you to obstruct that process. I'm not accusing you of obstruction. I'm just telling you right now we have non-compliance with my orders, all right?
It's an order. It's not an option. Carly Gregg's going to be back in court in 2 weeks when the judge will hear two different motions from her defense team. One of them asking for her $1 million bond to be lowered, and the other one to exclude the public and the media from any pre-trial proceedings. Let's talk more about this young child accused of murder. I want to bring in forensic death investigator, professor at Jacksonville State University, and the host of the Body Bags podcast, Joseph Scott Morgan, and psychologist as well as parenting and family relationship expert and author, Dr. Sue Kornbluth. Good morning to you both. Dr. Sue, I want to begin with you here, please. When you hear these facts as we know them about this child allegedly committing one murder and trying to do another murder before she was stopped, what are you thinking about her mental health?
I'm thinking a lot of things, Julie. One, I'm thinking, is there prior trauma history that happened within that home or happened somewhere else that led her to what I think is a childhood psychotic break, perhaps? And, what was going on in her mind? What caused this for her to shoot her own mother? These are the things that we just don't know enough about right now, and we need to determine what was going on in her brain during that time. That's why the psychological evaluation is so important, and it's odd that the lawyer has not been able to schedule this yet. I'm not sure what's behind that at this point. Maybe it's because, she is psychotic and he doesn't want that coming out. But I would think you would, because you can use an insanity plea. I'm not a lawyer, but that's what I would think.
Yeah, no, you're right on, Dr. Sue. You're right on all counts here. It's a problem that lawyer didn't have that scheduled. And I know from having practiced in a very large county that typically in a large county like that, you're going to have a psychologist or psychiatrist who is working there in the county for purposes of carrying out those mental health evaluations in the jail. So to say, oh, she couldn't have it in the jail, that doesn't sound right at all. And certainly, and the judge was good about saying if you need her to be transported to a particular facility, we'll do whatever needs to be done, but let's get this done now because it is an order. Professor Joe, I want to go to you next, please, on something we heard from one of the investigators, and to Dr. Sue's point on this, we need more facts. We need more facts around this, but one of the most stunning facts is what this child told her friend after her mother was dead. Let's watch.
She essentially stated that she was invited over to the residence by Carly, was unsure what for. That she had walked in. Carly asked her if she had ever seen a dead body before. She said no. Proceeded to show her deceased mother that was in the bedroom. Showed the gun that she used to shoot her mom. Told Brooke that she had 3 shots for her mom, and then she got 3 more for her stepdad, 2 to the head, 1 to the chest.
The specificity there. Professor Joe, talk to us here, please. What do you think when you hear that?
Well, obviously, beyond the actual horror of it, there is a certain element here. There's two things, I think, and that is the element of premeditation, and also this other kind of disturbing, if that's not enough, this other element of luring, where she has literally lured her little friend over to the home as well to bear witness to everything that's been done at her hand, allegedly. And then the idea that she has lured her stepfather home as well and lays in wait for him. This is not like she's running randomly down the street firing a weapon in the air and that she happens to strike people that are within range of the blast. She's laying in wait. She's sitting there contemplating this. This is something that has to be thought out. And then, you know, you go to the callousness of this. I've been on many, many death scenes over the years. And can you just imagine for 1 second, Julie, for your friend to call you over to the house and ask you, have you ever seen blood? You ever seen a dead body? Want to see one? And this is not just a random person that would have been in this child's life. This is one of her friends' parents that's lying there dead, cold, and stiff. The depths of this thing is hard to plumb at this point in time.
It sure is. Well said, Professor Joe. I want to talk a little bit more about Carly Gregg's mental health. And the judge touched on it here a little bit in addressing whether or not she should be moved to a juvenile facility, because right now, you know, she's facing charges in the Court of Common Pleas, not in the juvenile court system. And here you're going to hear the judge apologize that Carly Gregg doesn't have a cellmate right now. Let's watch.
There are no prior delinquent acts by Ms. Gregg, and we do have the ability to sight and sound separate her from the adult prisoners in the detention facility. I do note that typically we try to house 2 people in a cell at this particular point, but we have no other juvenile females at this point, Ms. Gregg. So regretfully, you're by yourself at this particular point.
Where should Carly Gregg be? Dr. Sue, I'd like to give you this final point here before we have to wrap up. Do you think that she belongs housed in the adult system or the juvenile system based on the allegations?
That's a tricky question, Julie, because she is 14 years old, now 15, and she still is a child, but she committed an adult crime. So I think what the judge is saying here is that he is sorry that she cannot be with peers of her own age. I mean, being with adult women is very different than being with young kids. And so there's a safety issue here. It can be dangerous for her, so on and so on. So I don't know where she should be. Personally, I think probably in the juvenile system because of her age. But, you know, the bigger point here is that what is she suffering from? Is it schizophrenia? Was she hearing voices? Is she delusional? Or is there trauma that was going on that caused her to do this? We'll be looking for all of this, right, Julie, as this case emerges?
Certainly. Hopefully we will find out once she gets that mental health evaluation. Got to leave it there for now. Excellent analysis from you both. As always, Dr. Sue Kornbluth, Professor Joseph Scott Morgan, thank you kindly.